Hi, I'm Mayor Al Bolas, City of New Franklin. Welcome to our video council meetings. You can get copies of this meeting at our City Hall or just call 330-882-4324.
Now, but tonight is going to be Mr. Adamson's last meeting here with our council. We got a little presentation for him, but I'd just like to say 11 years ago when I ran for this council and got on council, I got to know Paul better. And he cares so much for the city, it's incredible. And to lose him is going to be tough. I know he'll be around. He's, taught me what I'm doing here, basically. You gotta care. You gotta get out and talk to people, so he'll be missed, Paul. God bless you. Thank you. So, I think Al's got something for us there.
Brooke, you have anything to say? You want to come up? See you up here, please. When I first met Paul, I met Paul through Carol. Carol and I went to school together. Well, she was a few years older than me. But anyway, I met Paul.
I did too.
Anyway, I met Paul really in baseball. In Little League Baseball, he coached my son and he took me out for as an assistant coach, and I learned quite a bit about coaching Little League Baseball for a long time. So we were coaching for a while, and then maybe about 16 or 17 years ago, we were sitting at a Manchester basketball game, and he was sitting in the row in front of me, and I leaned over and I told him, why don't you run for township trustee? And I was a trustee back then, and so I got him thinking about it. Then we started talking some more, and he ran, and he won that year. And Paul, I could say on January 1st, 2000 through December 31st, 2004, Paul was the trustee of Franklin Township. In January 1st, 2005 through March 4th, 2006, he was a council member at large in New Franklin Village. From March 5th, 2006 through December 31st, 2007, he became council member at large for the city of New Franklin. Then on January 1st, 2008 through December 31st, 2015, coming up here, he has been the council member in Ward 1 at the city of New Franklin. So, in appreciation of 16 years of service, I am presenting this beautiful plaque to Paul F. Adamson. And I'm hoping you all stay around for a little bit and have some cookies. And I welcome you.
Well, I will tell you, I was not prepared for this. I've been around long enough that sometimes they shoot you out the door with a plaque. And so I thought maybe that might happen. I didn't think this would happen. And I wasn't quite prepared for the way I feel. But I will say that this position and the honor of serving, I didn't really know what it meant to think when I first took the seat. And I learned from the people who went before me. I learned from some of the people sitting out here. I continue to learn from the people sitting out here. And I think I got to be careful mentioning names. I sure would never want to leave anybody out. But I look at Kenny and see what he's done for this city, for this community. I look at Gladding out there and see what he's done. I see, God bless Todd for sitting there and for being here tonight, for what he's done. These folks, some people that started as adversaries are now considered friends, dear friends. And that's not because they changed, that's because I agree. We got to change, And I think of the people that came before. God bless Francis. I see the young lions here. And David, Harry, they're given, what the Kalopis family has given, what the Hargett family has given, up here and out there. And I see you guys sitting back there, and all the good men and women I got a chance to serve with, who make this community so special. And such an honor to be able to say I got a chance to serve. The city gave me a whole lot more than I ever gave the city. This position gave me a whole lot more than I ever gave the position. I got to really kind of grow up more here, without a question. To see the family out there. What a blessing. If it wasn't for Carol, I wouldn't be so. That's for sure. I don't want to get all mobbed, but that's just the truth. You talk about the woman behind me. Without her, I'm not here. She's made me. Sylvia, all that you do out there. And Susan, we've been through so much together, and everybody's been so good and so kind, and it's just been an honor. And I don't want to go on and on. I guess I'll finish with Al. Yeah, he dragged me into this. But you talk about giving your heart and soul to a community, and he's emblematic of that. He cares, just like everybody does here. We all know there's no place like this place. And I mean that from my heart. What you guys do, with the police and the fire and the roads and the dispatch and the administration, what they do, you can't. No, we do. That's done out of love, and we see it. The extra stuff that you guys do. It's been an honor, sometimes we butted heads, but I know we've all been on the same page, trying to do what's right for the people that put us up here. And I know that's what will continue to happen. Tom's kind of, just a real important piece of this puzzle too, what he brings to the community. So I don't want to leave anybody out, but everybody's in, and I just can't thank you enough. I didn't expect all this. I'm not going anywhere. Good Lord willing, we'll keep caring about this place and keeping our in the water and doing everything that we can, to continue to help this place to stay as it is, which I'm confident that it will. And I know we're in a public setting, but I'm thanking you for watching over us, and for guiding all of us, and for helping all of us grow as we have. And I trust and I ask the good Lord to keep looking over it. God bless the city of New Franklin. Thank you very much.
We could do that right now.
We're gonna get started. Maybe we can get some cookies, some lunch, and just kind of hang out for a little bit.
Welcome to stick with the meeting, but I don't think you'll want to.
Well, we appreciate everything you've done, believe me, the public does. And when they first changed this thing over from a township to a city, Paul volunteered his services as an attorney to do all of the writing and changing all the laws and the rules and regulations over from a township to a city. And that wasn't a little bit of work. And the only reason I'm blowing off is because most of you wasn't around here then. And he actually did all that work for nothing and changed everything over for nothing. And you should be commended for that. And
All right. How is everybody this evening? Great.
No, thanks for saying.
Not everybody on one time. We see you back there, Chief. Thank you for sticking around. We're going to get into our committee meetings. Tonight we have 5 first readings, 1 second, 2 on the third, and no pending. So we're going to move right into community development. Judy?
Resolution 15R77. A resolution authorizing New Franklin to enter into an agreement with Insight Advisory Group, LLC, to serve as planning consultant for New Franklin, and declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage. Al, do you want to talk about this?
Well, I have invited Jennifer 6 to come to the next meeting.
Oh, it's.
So it's fine if you would like to take time on this one more
Sounds good.
week, or 2 more, 3 more
I read
weeks.
over the things that,
Oh, is there three?
it will be
weeks
about
on
3
next
weeks, I
meeting?
think.
I'm sorry?
It will be about 3 weeks, I
Yes.
think.
I was disappointed.
Oh, man. I didn't know that.
So that's okay with me if you
You're
like
ready
to
for a
take time
special
on
call
that.
meeting if you keep it up. And you'll be here to enjoy it.
But I think it's been very important that she works with us and then has helped us tremendously. And there's some future things you've seen on the proposal that she has there.
Yes, I read over that, that's what I started to say, but,
If you
so
have any
she's gonna
questions-
be invited to our next meeting.
Yes, that's okay with you all.
And then, so we'll ask for time, and we'll close at 6:27.
All right, Judy, okay, Paul, here you go. Finance.
All right, well, we will call finance to order at 6:27. The note, Ms. Norris is not here. We have a couple pieces to discuss, resolution 15R78, resolution authorizing New Franklin to enter an agreement with Julianne and Group
Yes.
for basic financial statements. And this proposal is for a 3-year term. The 3-year term provides a pretty significant cost break for us as opposed to the 1 or 2 year proposals. And we have not used these people before, am I right?
Actually, the first year that we used them was this last year for
Okay.
2014. And the amount on their bid, I talked to them a little bit, is lower than what they charged us this year. This year they charged us $8,900, and they're gonna give us a break for 3 years, for the 3-year term.
And boy, the list of their client list is quite extensive. And virtually all of our neighboring communities, and so obviously it's pages and pages and pages of Ohio communities that are using this group. Timing wise,
It kind of, well, they like to get everything settled because they start doing things as soon as the year turns over. So if you could do it, go ahead and do it, that would be best. You will also see another resolution that Tom's preparing for the first meeting in January, because as I said, I don't know, a few minutes ago, the auditors have kicked us out, and we're doing an we're gonna have an independent auditor do our books. They don't have.
The state auditors.
Yeah, the state auditor. They don't have enough people, and so the people that are doing well, they're kicking out to the independent auditors. So they actually managed a bid process for that for us, and last Friday, they let us know, I believe it was last Friday, that Julianne and Grube had also won that bid for them. They awarded them that bid. So part of that will be the award, and the amount will be on the next one. And that's for the other side. They have one part that's going to do the basic financial, the gap conversion, and then the other side of their company is going to be doing the audit itself. The only reason we got started with them was that the auditor's office themselves had recommended them to us.
all right.
Well, it's good, other than finding problems in their own problems,
Yeah,
they're pretty good.
Well, we've used them before, and the rate is better than last year, and we lock them in at that rate for 3 years, so. Anybody uncomfortable with proceeding to vote tonight on
Well,
this?
it sounds like the state auditors doesn't feel that's a confliction.
No, they didn't. In fact, I did ask them about that, Judy, and they said, as long as it's not the same auditors in the company that are doing the gap conversion as we're auditing, then it's not a problem. And this is a large firm in Westerville.
All right, well, I will move, when we get to the meeting, to waive the 3 readings, and if anybody feels like we need more time, we'll take it, otherwise we'll proceed to vote on that one. We have resolution 15R80. This is a transfer of funds from zoning vehicle repair to zoning contractual, $400, streets, professional tech services to legal counsel, and I'm gonna say, I'm assuming this is outside legal counsel, I'm sure it's outside legal counsel, it's, we always like to qualify that. That's $29,000, that's not going to Tom, that's for outside counsel. 8,600 from administrative grants to administrative contractual, and $750 from FBCC policing to other contractual, sort of keeping the books square, housekeeping type of matter.
Yes,
Okay. All right, everything's still within appropriation and budget.
yes.
All right. I'd be looking to waive the 3 readings on that one as well. Okay, we have 15R81, and this is another transfer of funds from general fund to dispatch, $35,000, general fund to police, $100,000. Again, these are just year-end transfers, all within budget and appropriation.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions on that one? All right, we'll look to waive 3 readings on that one as well. 15R76 is a second reading, adopting temporary appropriations, and I think the only reason we went to a second reading was there was some typo or some error in the attachment, am I right?
Missing the last page.
Okay, so now we've solved that?
Yes, we have.
Excuse me. All right, so we'll be looking to waive the 3rd reading on that one and adopt those temporary appropriations. Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
All right. Okay, and I think finally, resolution 15R71, this is the 3rd reading. Resolution establishing the Franklin Finance Director position at full-time, setting a wage for the position, declaring the resolution take effect immediately. We had some discussion on that last week, or 2 weeks ago. We did not act on it because we had some members that weren't here and we wanted to, and I wasn't here the meeting before that when it was discussed, so I understand there's generally a consensus that council's in favor. We've had plenty of discussions, I would note, over the early part of this year relative to that position and the salary for that position. Any discussion relative to that one? Thoughts, concerns? All right, well then we'll look to proceed to vote on 15R71 tonight. And I believe that covers everything for finance. We'll adjourn at 6:34.
Thank you, Paul. All right, go ahead and move into safety, Jim.
Open at 6:34. Resolution 15R79, resolution authorizing New Franklin to enter into an agreement with statewide Ford for one 2016 Ford Utility Police Interceptor for the police department and declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage. Is this, I assume since we got this, to replace the one that's out of service, or do we know?
We try to get one a year, at least one a year. Every other year, we try to get 2 if we can. And you may take time on this, next meeting. So so Jim can go ahead and vote on this too.
Do you know why R35 is out of service?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I said it could be the one with the transmission. I'm not sure we had one transmission. Just spent $2,000 on it, but I don't know what car it was.
And they're currently putting it back in the car, or putting a new one in, is that what they're doing?
Well, they did about 2 weeks ago, but I don't think it's that one.
Okay.
So this one's out of service.
Yes.
Well, the only reason I say because all these mileages are relatively low.
Right,
They're-
but I'm saying
they're-
to you that if this was a transmission, it would not say out of service, must be something.
And so I
would think.
I was wondering why that one's out of service. It's getting to the point to where you're not gonna need a car. You're gonna be able to take and skip a year again.
I think so too, because it looks pretty good.
A couple of these cars are detective cars. I don't have them listed, or I'm not gonna even tell you which ones they are, so.
Yeah, I don't care. It's the out of service ones. It's the detective use. Can you see it? Sorry.
Okay, so we're gonna
Okay.
take time on that.
Take time on that then.
We'll find out why that's out of service and
I can tell you, we're down about, we've cut back. I mean, this list used to be longer than this.
I know, and that's,
You know,
yeah, I
2 or
said,
3 thirds, so.
I mean, we do got the 111 Crown Vic, that thing's got 107,000 miles on it, so that's, I mean, the Crown Vics are, they've racked up some miles on them too. There's 3, one was 77, the other one's got 78, so they've served us well. Terry, you got a third reading?
Right.
You got it, okay.
Trying to find it here, okay. Resolution authorizing New Franklin to apply for an FY 2015 Assistance to Firefighters Grant in conjunction with Green and Clinton, declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon. Third reading on this is, where are we on this one? Chief?
We're still waiting for the city of Green to determine what they're going to do as far as radios. So until, we're basically at their mercy right now, waiting to see what they're going to ask for in the grant as far as their portion goes. So at last I heard from the city of Green, from Green Fire, Chief Funai told me that they had not made any decisions yet. So it's, this one may end up being not following through on it because of the city of Green. We're under a deadline with the grant, which we have another, I believe, 2, possibly, I don't know the exact date of that, when that deadline's up, but I don't know that we're going to have another meeting before, I don't believe we have another meeting before that deadline comes up. So the city of Green is I'm not sure what they're doing.
They're actually the holdup right now.
Yes.
so do we need to pass this in case they pass theirs, or are we gonna call, I mean, is that what you would like us to do?
No, I told the chief we can, if they can come to some agreement and some decision, go ahead and apply for the grant, and we'll pass this
Okay.
after the fact, so.
Okay.
So we'll just take time on it.
All right.
Yeah, because this particular one only addresses our radios where if there's a complete package, we want to amend it and do that.
It will close at 6:38.
All right, thanks, Terry. Anything else for committee? Anybody have anything I think for legislation? All right, anybody opposed to starting this meeting? Tom? I'd like to call the Board of City of New Franklin Council meeting Wednesday, December 16th, 2015. We're going to call it 6:38. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, roll call.
Mr. Adamson?
Here.
Mr. Hargit?
Present.
Ms. Jones?
Present.
Mr. Dean?
Here.
Mr. Claudius?
Here.
Ms. Norris is absent, and Mr. Stock?
Here. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the regular scheduled meeting of December 2nd, 2015.
Second.
Any discussion on those minutes? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Abstain.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Claudius?
Abstain.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
Passes 4-0. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the financials for November 15th, subject to audit.
Absolutely.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Claudius?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
And Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Passes 6-0. All right, move into public comments. Please keep your comments addressed to council in under 4 minutes and state your name and address, please. I just automatically look at you, Glenn, just for something.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy New
Merry
Year.
Christmas, right, Happy New Year.
Ben Gladding, Miller Center Road, right? Thanks, Gladys. Appreciate that. All right, we're gonna move into our legislation this evening, 5 first readings, 1 second, 2/3. Move into resolution 15-R-77.
Sponsor Mayor Bowles, a resolution authorizing New Franklin to enter into an agreement with Insight Advisory Group LLC to serve as planning consultant for New Franklin, and declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage.
Jennifer Six was invited by the mayor to be at our next meeting to explain this further, so we're going to choose to take time.
And that meeting will be January 6th. It'll be our first meeting of the new year. Great, thank you. Move to time as requested, time granted, resolution 15-R-78.
Sponsor Mayor Bowles, a resolution authorizing New Franklin to enter into an agreement with Julian and Grubb Incorporated to compile the basic financial statements for the city of New Franklin for the years ending December 31st, 2015, 2016, and 2017, and declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage.
This was assigned to finance. The 3-year term is at a fixed rate of $8,500, which is less than we spent last year. They did a good job for us. They're well respected by the state. They're employed by numerous, hundreds, it looks like, of communities around Ohio. So we're going to move it to, I'm going to move to waive the 3 readings on 15-R-78.
Second. First and second, roll call, please.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Ging?
Yes.
Mr. Coffin?
Yes.
And I'll move that we approve resolution 15-R-78.
Second.
Okay, first and second, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Ging?
Yes.
Mr. Coffin?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
And Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
All right, passes 6-0. Moving to resolution 15-R-79.
Sponsor Mayor Bowles, a resolution authorizing New Franklin to enter into an agreement with statewide Ford for one 2016 Ford Utility Police Interceptor for the police department, and declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage.
And we're gonna ask for a time on this.
Time requested, time is granted. Move to resolution 15-R-80.
Sponsor Mayor Bowles, a resolution authorizing the transfer of funds and declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage.
This is assigned in finance. It's various transfers within some of the line items. Nothing particularly out of the ordinary on any of them, and we're going to move to waive the 3 readings on 15-R-80.
Second.
First and second, roll call, please.
Mr. Ging?
Yes.
Mr. Coppus?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
And Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
I move that we approve resolution 15-R-80.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Ging?
Yes.
Mr. Coppus?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
And Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Passes 6-0. Moving to resolution 15-R-81.
Sponsor Mayor Bowles, a resolution authorizing the transfer of funds from the general fund to the dispatch fund and police district fund, and declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage.
This was also assigned to finance, and it's the typical fund moves from general fund to dispatch and police district fund, all within budget, all within appropriation. I move that we waive the 3 readings on 15-R-81.
Second.
First and second, roll call, please.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Ging?
Yes.
Mr. Kalopoulos?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
And Mr. Adamson?
Yes. I move we approve resolution 15-R-81.
Second.
First and second, any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Ging?
Yes.
Mr. Kalopoulos?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
And Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
All right, passes 6-0. Moving to resolution 15-R-76.
Sponsor Mayor Bowles, resolution adopting the temporary appropriations for 2016 for the city of New Franklin, and declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage.
This was assigned to finance. This is the second reading. We were missing a page of the attachment in 2 weeks ago. We have that now. And this, again, is something typically that we do at the end of each year. We appropriate approximately a third of the line item from previous budgets, so we know we're proportionate. And for that reason, I would move that we we waive the requirement of the third reading on 15R76.
Second.
First and second, roll call, please.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Kalopoulos?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
And Mr. Adamson?
Yes. I move that we approve Resolution 15R76.
Second.
First and second, any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Kalopoulos?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
And Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Passes to 6-0. Moving to Resolution 15-R-70.
Sponsor Mayor Bowles, a resolution authorizing New Franklin to apply for FY 2015 Assistance to Firefighters Grant in conjunction with Green and Clinton, and declaring that this resolution shall be effective immediately upon passage.
Oh, we're gonna ask time for this one.
Okay, time requested, time is granted. Finally, moving to Resolution 15-R-71.
Sponsor Mayor Bowles, a resolution establishing the New Franklin Finance Director position as full-time, setting a wage for the full-time position, and declaring that this resolution shall take effect immediately upon passage.
This was assigned to finance. It essentially affirms the position that was, I think, I don't know, created, but endorsed at least after much discussion earlier this year. And this is actually the fourth reading, if I'm not mistaken, on this. So at this time, I will move to approve Resolution 15R71.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Kalopoulos?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
And Mrs. Jones? I'm sorry. Yeah.
Passes 5-1. All right, we have no pending legislation. Move into the mayor's report.
Okay, thank you. The magazine that we're putting out, our 10th year anniversary, that Cleveland magazine is putting out for us, I think I had some copies for you the last meeting. The space deadline has been extended to Wednesday, January 13th. So the 2016 magazine, A Residence Guide, will be a glossy, I'm going to repeat this again, will be a glossy full color publication that will highlight the New Franklin 10th year as a city and tell the story of why New Franklin is a great place to live, work, play, and do business. The issue will focus editorial content highlighting the strong and diverse local independent businesses, expanded community information, community profiles, events, and much more for your closest neighbors and potential customers to refer to over and over again for the next year. New Franklin magazine will be distributed to every New Franklin residence and business, 11,000 plus copies throughout the year, as well as overrun copies will be distributed at City Hall, local hotels, and South Summit Chamber of Commerce. That's going to Green also. So if you need more information about that, we have that in the office. I hope you can still contract with the $25,000 with Insight Group in 2016. I've invited her to the next meeting to discuss that. She saved us a lot of money so far, about $375,000. And she's done a tremendous job as far as economic development goes. We really don't have that department. We've tried to do it ourselves, but she knows a lot more than I do. Now, I, along with Terry Thompson from Republic Waste Services, attended the Coventry Trustees meeting last week to discuss the change to the 65-gallon recycle bins. for all residents of New Franklin and Coventry Township. This will change our weekly recycled bin pickup to a bi-weekly service. I'll introduce legislation to add 5 more years to our contract. Tom has pretty much put that all together already, as you know. I believe Coventry trustees will follow after talking with them last week. 2016 will be the last year of the current trash aggregation contract, and the 2016 rates will be, the unlimited is $37.83 per quarter. The 96 gallon limited service is $33.60 per quarter. And the bag service will be $7.17 per quarter, plus $1.52 a bag, and they come in 10 lots, I think, a lot of 10. All services include recycle pickup. Our trash program has been very successful, as you know, and we have reduced the cost of trash service by at least half in most cases. So we want to add 5 more years to the contract through 2021, and Tom's going to get a hold of Republic and start moving that along. I suggested appointments to the Planning and Zoning Commission, and I think I hope you get copies of that. Planning and Zoning Commission, the Board of Zoning Appeals, and the Property Maintenance Enforcement Board at last meeting, actually the Property Enforcement Board, we're looking for somebody. So Jim Kotz is gonna be replacing Mr. Adamson, who's on that board now. So, do I do this all at one?
You can do it all at once, unless somebody has an issue with somebody. Do it all at once.
Okay, and I believe the press, I gave you the list too. Okay, to the Planning and Zoning Commission, I would like to appoint David Kroc, or reappoint David Kroc, to a 5-year term expiring December 31st, 2020. Mr. Paul Donatelli, reappoint to a 1-year term as an alternate expiring on December 31st, 2016. To the Board of Zoning Appeals, we'd like to appoint Mr. William Young to a 5-year term expiring on December 31st, 2020. And he's been our alternate, he's wanting to move up. Mr. Art Wagner, you all know, we're going to appoint him, and he's agreed to a 1-year term as an alternate expiring December 31st, 2016. Art has served us for quite a long time now on that committee. And, I do have the one, Mr. Edward Koslow, to reappoint to a 5-year term expiring on January 1st, 2020. And we're still looking for one more on that board.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the appointments of the mayor for Planning and Zoning Commission, Board of Zoning Appeals, and Property Maintenance Enforcement Board.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dean?
Yes.
Mr. Pappas?
Yes.
Mr. Stock?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
And Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
All right, passes 6-0. Here you go.
Okay, thank you. The Holiday Lights Contest is over. I want to thank everybody who participated in that. And I want to thank our police department, and I think some of the fire guys might have went out and did something. Chief was driving around with all the kids and all that, so. So I'm gonna list them. I gave you some copies, but I think I'll read them into the record. The Drost residents at 1107 Tate Road, Wall Brown residents at 6027 Grove Road, Kilway residents at 1430 Vanderhoof Road, McDermott residents at 5054 Peggy Ann Drive, Crawford residents at 780 Zaletta Drive, James residents at 6266 South Cleveland Maslin Road, Narragon residents at 2703 Delhi Drive, the Miller residents at 3357 Rhapsody Lane, Esker residents at 534 Sturgeon Drive, Hitchings residents at 2571 Sussex Drive, Housley residents at 3267 Vanderhoof Road, and the Byro residents at 5891 Fairland Road. I drove around and saw some of these. Take the time and do that. to really get your spirit up as far as the holiday season goes.
How many times in my kitchen is vote for?
Yes.
I don't know. I have no idea. We'll find out. If he is,
Sounds like an investigation.
yeah, then we're gonna have to, I don't think he lives
Get the
there.
detective on that.
Yeah.
Does he live there? Sussex?
That is my, yeah, that's my,
It is?
yeah.
Well, we'll have to go see it, see it. So, these people will get a, we'll get an award, all right? It's basically a certificate of appreciation.
I would take one way.
Oh, I'm sure you do your best.
Hi,
So-
man. I just missed. If they'd done 13, I'd been on there. Had to cut it off somewhere, right?
So we do that every year this time, so everybody can go ahead and drive around before the lights get taken down, especially right now, since we don't have any snow yet, but I understand it's coming. And also, we only have 9 more days till Christmas, so I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. And since we're not going to meet again until January 6th, I wish everybody a Happy New Year, too.
See you next year.
See you next year. So we'll be here. Thank you, that's all I
All
have.
right, thanks, Al.
Can I say something? Trash.
Yes,
I got some, I don't know
You
why
got a
they were.
trash bottle?
Yeah. Why they were so gung ho, but the day after Thanksgiving,
yes.
they hit everybody and nobody had anything out because everybody was so used to it being.
Yes.
So I got several phone calls saying, and so I said, just call them and they'll probably.
No, and I asked Terry about that, because that happens on my street periodically. And I said, you know, all you're doing is doubling up the trucks again, because they'll come down, they said, you know, after Wednesday, you're gonna get delayed 1 day. During the holiday week, Thanksgiving's perfect example, they picked my stuff up on Friday, but because of Thanksgiving, it was gonna be delayed 1 day. So they picked up on Saturday. But they come around anyway, because I believe that the dump closes at noon on Fridays. So they try to pick up as much as they can on that. And he's gonna address that with the drivers or with his route manager, try to stop that.
They did come back around with it.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But it's just, you know, I see people running like that, and I've done it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Running, oh my God, they're supposed to be for Saturday, so you're running around trying to get all your stuff out there, and they don't show up. So, you know, until the next day, so it all depends on what street you're on. But we're trying to clear that up.
And what is there for the, recycle every other week?
Yes, what would you
I
like?
fill one up each week, so I'm either gonna need another one or,
They have to
When-
accept
when
it.
they-
no,
When they go to
They're
the
going to
carts,
the big ones.
when they go to the
I
carts.
feel
it's
like
different.
I
have personal.
I have a cart, that thing is, I got like one
Okay.
bag of trash in that big giant thing, and my big cart, 65, so,
Yeah,
it'll start going.
Yeah, just put it alongside next to it, the more recycles, it's fine. We'll pick it all up.
I don't know why I have so much.
I
Yeah.
can't
You're not
figure it
gonna
out
say.
either, it's filled up. All right. Thanks, Al.
I was wondering who the guy was driving around my neighborhood picking up all the recycle, it was you.
It was.
Fill my bin, stuff.
He's very competitive.
There is a fellow driving around in a pickup truck in advance that goes around and tries to pick up any metal or steel, to pick up bed frames and things like that.
Really?
Oh, yeah, that's somebody in our community.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
And,
scrapper.
Trash days.
A lot of them do
Yeah.
antique stuff too.
Yeah.
All right, Susan?
Well, just our, cash balance at the end of November is $2,675,867.
One more time. 2 million.
$2,675,867.66.
All right. Thank you. All right, old business.
Recycling.
Okay. Any other old business?
I need to see Paul go.
Eh,
Are you saying Paul's old? I don't know.
Yeah,
Ah, I
That's
didn't
all right.
mean that. He meant that as a
Hey.
new business.
this is old business, Nexus.
Yes.
Yeah, did everybody get one of these?
I didn't get, not everybody got one.
I think just the council at large did.
Yeah.
Oh.
You and me, we
Okay.
didn't, yeah.
I got one too, and I don't know why, they did, somehow, I am old, but they associate me with the cemetery. Franklin Township Trustee Cemetery, and I'm on the list. But I think what's significant is that they have submitted their original plan. I think most of us probably know that. There were all these discussions, and Green went to a lot of trouble to put together, to suggest an alternate, and Nexus was very cordial and said, sure, we'll think about that. And then they went ahead and submitted the original plan, which runs through here. And so all the people that came here and they were concerned, their concerns are real. They remain. There is a comment period. And I believe we did pass a resolution in opposition. And I wonder if we need to somehow reiterate that. There's I noticed that the comment date, the comments close on December 28th at 5 p.m. So we would have another full, we've got 13 days, and I just wonder if we should, on behalf of council, I didn't study this carefully, I read it, it does suggest that it would be possible to intervene, but it doesn't sound as complex as intervention and actually litigation. It just, it says 2 ways to be involved. If we want legal status becoming a party, we could file a motion to intervene, and I think all that does is get us on the mailing list. I don't know if it's necessary to go that far. A person doesn't have to intervene to have comments considered, and by filing with the Secretary of the Commission, original and 2 copies of comments. So perhaps just a letter from the city with an attachment of the previous ordinance. I don't know, maybe that's already been done, but it seems like we ought to maybe do it one more time. I don't know if it's gonna have any value.
Okay, we'll get that out.
I
Yeah,
think on behalf of the citizens, we should do that.
Where was the comment period? Was that in DC?
Yeah, there's a e-filing for these things as well.
I believe so.
Yeah, it is in DC, there's no
Very
question.
have it in their office.
Yeah.
I read in the, I believe it was in the Cleveland Plain Dealer, that the city of Oberlin has hired a high-powered attorney firm out of Washington DC to battle this. So I thought that was pretty interesting. That was, I read that a couple weeks ago. I believe.
City of Oberlin.
City of Oberlin, yes.
Well, maybe we could CC them on what we're doing, just let them know we're behind them. I'm sure, I'm assuming Green is doing something formal as
Yes,
well.
Not to that extent, though. I mean,
Yeah, right.
Oberlin actually hired
Yeah.
an attorney who is out of a firm in Washington DC that specializes in this and is
I
going
mean,
at
it's
it.
not optimistic. Everything I heard about this process was that once it reaches here, that this
Well,
FERC
actually,
is really, there's a lot of rubber stamp to it.
that's actually the second plan. The first one was to go under Nimisila Reservoir.
Okay.
And right up here where the high tension wires are, right there right by the boat houses, and where Dollar General was gonna go right down through there.
Okay.
So we managed to move it south, but it's only just south of Yeager. Between Yeager and Common, and then it goes up to Grove, and then heads north. By the way, we have a new map, a city map down here, if anybody wants to take a look at it. Mark put that together, Mark Koheiser. And it's got a listing, we're gonna try to go ahead and condense it and get copies like we had the old township map.
Yeah, good.
When I stopped in and talked to Mark, he also said they moved it in a couple areas west too, that ended up going through waterlands or marshlands, because that was the only change on the map that he's seen. They altered through wetlands, but everything else was pretty legal.
Yeah, I gave Mark the DVD.
Yeah.
So it's all in there, I mean, it has section by section and where they're going, so if anybody wants a copy of that.
I figured that was like a rubber stamping thing too, just a process they go through, the way it reads, and they're sending you pretty in-depth packets of,
Yeah.
here's what we keep applying for, and like I said, they're stacking pipe on 21.
Yeah.
The pipe is there.
It's not,
So I don't.
You see all the pipe on
That's
down
what I said. You see all the pipe down there?
It's
I said between Lincoln Way and Route
Yeah.
30, it's
Oh,
stacked
that's-
15 feet high and
yeah.
miles.
3/4 of a mile of it,
There's,
at least.
there's probably miles and miles of that pipe.
Oh, no,
stacked.
yeah, 'cause that's like 20 to 25 foot sections, they're huge.
Yeah.
And they ain't bringing them in for no reason,
Yeah,
they're,
that's.
I mean, it's basically,
It's gonna go just down Grill, just south of
Yeah.
Grill. Fellows that have those horse farms are gonna go right down through there. Welch's Farm,
Walsh's, all right.
Welch's?
Walsh.
Walsh's, that's right.
You said Walsh.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a great juice.
Walsh.
Walsh Farms
It's delicious. It's delicious.
It is, I like it too.
in Chippewa, so he's all upset about that too, so. It's sad, you know, it's really sad that we can't do anything about that.
Yes.
And who knows what FERC, you know, who's controlling that? And, you know, I can't go ahead and, we just don't know. Don't know where it's gonna go. There's
That's
nothing we
the
can do.
problem, that we have no say-so and no control.
Yeah.
The people that own the property have no say-so and no control. That's not right.
That's the biggest thing, is the property owners, because
That's right.
the way they pay you for that, they don't, the fees they got in 1940 or 39 for like mine, whatever, 10 cents a foot, that was good money back then, but I don't even pay the property taxes now on that land. 25 feet is useless, so they ain't even covering their investment, and there's no end on them contracts, which is,
None.
the
But that's a
pipeline has a
shame.
75-year lifespan, and the contracts are now, 85 years old. I mean, there's gotta be an end date. I don't understand, it's
We
bizarre.
can't get anywhere with,
No.
you know, with our congressman,
No,
Ray,
you can't.
no matter who you talk to,
No,
it
they
has
just
no,
are
they
not
don't care.
representing their constituents.
Yeah.
They are not. That's a shame.
All right. Any new business, or we're on new business? Any other new
We
business?
said
Any other-
recycling. We didn't do recycling for new business.
Oh,
did
okay.
we?
Hey, Dave, one more, I just want to say one more thing. I've been to a lot of those meetings, and it is a joke. It is a joke. When you go to these meetings, and they have all these maps up all over the room and stuff, and they don't care, you know, I thought it was gonna be more like a hearing, that you'd have to go ahead and say what you feel and all that, but no, they won't let, there's no public input at all on any of those meetings, so it was ridiculous.
They really don't care what you think. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, yeah, the only other thing I got, is anybody opposed on council, is anybody opposed to me like introducing a no panhandling legislation? Because I talked to Mark and Barry, they're on board too. We just, I hate driving to Akron and every corner somebody's panhandling, so I've seen a couple here before it starts.
How are they, what's the success in enforcing?
Not very good. But not very good. There's.
Can't hurt to pass it.
There's typically some constitutional issues with those, but if you wanna
Try
work
it.
on something, we can, I mean,
Try
Akron has one.
Of no panhandling, they got that permit you gotta buy. Is that what how they?
Yeah, but that's just in certain areas. The ones that are on the expressways that you
It's the
see
main
when you
tags.
stop there, they don't have tags. No, and they have one where you have to be 100 feet from the intersection, and they're very difficult to enforce.
Okay.
But yeah, I've
Thank
seen
you.
some, there's been somebody up on 619 in Manchester.
Thank you,
That
Mr.
couple times.
I've seen one in Missoula in 93 one time.
So yeah, if you wanna work on, we'll
Yes.
work on
I'll let
something,
you, yeah,
but it's tough to enforce.
okay.
I'm all for charity, and I've talked to a lot of people who will tell me that they do that, and they really feel good about themselves, they'll hand that $5 or $10 out to that person, and I don't know about every person on every corner, but I will tell you that I watched a handoff down by Akron U. I saw that happen. I saw a guy come up and putting his gloves on, and the guy gave him the sign, it was shift change. The guy gave him the sign, gave him the box, patted him on the back, and the other guy, his shift was over. I don't know.
Those are difficult issues. I mean, I actually had a big discussion with my class on homelessness and laws that are passed by cities directed towards the homeless. But to a person, those concern everybody. I, for one, don't ever give them money. I donate to Haven Arrest and Akron Canned Food Bank. Those are the organizations that are gonna help people who truly are needy, so. But it's difficult, but yeah, we can look at something.
Okay.
All right, any other new business?
We do have the issue of the 4 ward council people needing to be sworn in for your new terms. I assume you want to do that on January 6th, or do you want to do that at a different time? Did you want to come on December 30th?
Yeah. Can you, we need you to swear us in.
So we're gonna do that on January sixth?
Jim, did you have plans?
On January 6th?
Well, did you have plans getting sworn in?
No, I,
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we can do that at the beginning of the meeting on January sixth. I'll bring all the oaths. Okay.
that's good.
We'll have to
Should I have plans?
do
Well, I
that.
didn't know if you
No.
had a judge or somebody that you wanted to go ahead and do special.
Oh, wow, didn't even think about that.
It's special for me if Tom does it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Scott.
Toms are easy too. I promise to do my best, to do my duty, to God and my country, so, or whatever.
But and then we'll have to do that before we even.
We'll do that
have to
before,
have a-
before the meeting starts. And then
And since we're
have-
talking about, since we're our clerk, we're gonna be replacing our clerk, if maybe, you've done this before, right, when we get sworn in and that first meeting, maybe you can be there for us on that one?
Clerk is.
Okay.
Swear in.
Thank you.
I told you I would stay until you found
I
somebody.
know, but we're gonna be working on that soon. I mean, we've already had a little discussion about, we don't have to go through the whole, if there's somebody off that first, when we hired you, or, we can go off that list, if there's somebody we like off that
Right,
list.
yeah, you're not required to go through the whole process again. You can review those other resumes.
But what I'd like to possibly do, I should have did this last time, is, we still have them somewhere, right? Some resumes that we could maybe take a look at, maybe get them out, and do we have them still?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we still have them.
If we could maybe find them and just have, I don't want you to print them all out to everybody, but maybe have them available if council members wanna.
They should just like interviewed a handful of them.
Yeah, dude, yeah, that was.
You just get the ones that you interviewed.
No, we had one, it was
Yes.
Kathy and one that they
Yeah, I
both
think,
were just
and I think
excellent.
that's, her name is.
Kelly Kepler.
Kelly,
Yes,
Kelly.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she was excellent.
So that's who.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I talked to Kelly because she's at the title company in our
Okay.
building. I think she'd still be interested if you're.
She was just excellent, because remember, we had a hard time.
Yeah,
Me too.
there was another one also too, right?
Well,
I don't know.
Francis?
May I speak?
Sure. I don't know, can you? Okay.
Oh, I came to tell you that you've been all very good, and I'm like Santa Claus, I arrive once a year about. So you've all been very good, you've done your job really well. We've been out in the community a lot, everybody's satisfied, everything's quiet. The only thing that bothers me is that when we had the election, you wanted so badly for the income tax to pass. One of the reasons is people don't even know what city they live in. They do not know that this is a city. They do not know that you exist. There's no TV anymore that I know about. But anyway, if you want to get things done, you have to kind of get out and talk to people. It is fun. It really is. And they like you pretty well because they're satisfied. We talked to one man today, and he said, I'm the chauffeur. And he said, I have no problem. He said, I love this city, and everything is going great. And that was nice to hear. But I wonder how many are sitting out there telling them how they really feel. And that's bad because they're the ones that vote down things. So, but anyway, I'm very happy to be in New Franklin. I love my house. I love the city. And I came to say to Paul, this is a sweet goodbye. I was so many years a trustee with Paul and Al and Bob Lockhart and Mobley, and I think those are the only ones I ever worked with. But anyway, and I want to say Merry Christmas and God bless you all.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
God bless you.
All right, but I thought there was one other meeting possibly, was that?
I don't recall. I mean, I know you all interviewed a few, but I don't know what you talked about behind closed doors.
Okay.
I wasn't
All right,
part
I
of
thought
that.
there was another name that was thrown out at some point. Okay. So we got that straightened around. You're gonna help us out. We're gonna be going with looking for our new clerk as soon as possible. That way maybe Kathy can get a little time on her night. Just walk her through a few things. I'm not gonna have to give her. keep you on the
It's
payroll
okay.
for a little while, how's that? All right. Anything else in new business? All right, anybody have any questions for us this evening? Anything we talked about? All right. One thing I am going to do this evening, I move that we go into executive session for the purpose of collective bargaining. In this, I'd like to ask Jim Cox to come with us, the chief. That whole table, I'd like to see them come up too. And so I make a motion, there'll be no formal actions taken during this executive session. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, roll call please.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Loftus?
Yes.
Mr. Stack?
Yes.
Mr. Adamson?
Yes.
And Mr. Hartman?
Yes.
All right. Our next meeting will be, our first meeting of the new year will be January 6th.